Okay, so for week 3, we are going to talk about the networking and the authentication and the persistence. We talk a little bit about some of the database to be used in the mobile. Uh, Here we have here. What is this? Anyone familiar with this one? Twitter, right? So this week we are going to build a Twitter. The clone of the Twitter, but you can interact with Twitter server. It's not like the Yep. For the Yep, you just put in the data and also display the data only, right? But in this one more step further, so we will interact with Twitter as well, meaning you're able to click on new and then you post something, you tweet something, or you retweet someone tweet, or you do the reply or you favorite. So this one is not called like, but it's called favorite. So you favorite the tweet, and it actually happening interacting with the Twitter server, right? Uh, we talk a little bit about networking. So for the in assignment 1 we use the snippet to get the data from the API, right? So it was using like the NSURL session. Before it had something else like NSURL connection, but it's only deprecated later on iOS. So now we have the NSURL session. We talk a little bit about AF networking. So some people ask about the difference between AF networking and Alamo Power. So here, this is the port that used to support for the network, but the Alamo File is much more advanced and more stable, and more people use that one than the AF networking. If you take a look here, so this is the Alamo File is number 3 in the top 200 app in the App Store. So some of the very famous app they are using Alamo File. Right? What is Snapchat, right? Instagram. I know this is Talking Tom Cat or something. This is Prisma and then Netflix. Right? A lot of famous app they using Alamo File. So if you haven't used that one, you can try to use that one. For the assignment 1, I asked you to use AF networking because that one is very basic one. It's also a good way to get to know about bots, so don't want to try something fancy, something really advanced, right? So we were using AF networking at that moment. And then how do you handling the network failure? So remember in assignment 1 again, when we ask you to display the error, if the network is like it didn't return anything or you had a problem with the network, right? And most of you put the thing in the else block, right? Meaning when it's not return anything, then when the response is new or when the error is not new, meaning you get some error, then you display the error there. A better way to do that one is the reachability. So anyone using the reachability during the assignment 1? Right. So again, the reachability. Here's some of the snippet how to use reachability. Here you can go back and search for the reachability. That's also another bot. So with this one, it support the NS notification, meaning it will have the observer to observe the network. So any change on the network, it will trigger. For example, hey, you say, hey, I want to observe for the network change from if it switch from the network from Wi-Fi to 3G or it's totally lost the connection, then it will trigger you. So as soon as something changed on the network, so you will get the notified. So here, for example, here you set the notification for that one, and we add the observer, and then whatever the change, so reachability change notification. So whatever the change on the network, it will trigger you. And then when it trigger, so it will run the selector here. So the selector here is the function you want it to execute when something trigger. So here we have if the network is reachable via Wi-Fi or WAN, or then you want to do this one. And when you set alpha is 0, meaning you hide the error view, right? And then else in this else block, meaning the network is working. So it's you set no, in this else block, meaning the network is not working and you want to set the alpha you want. So it will show the alpha. So instead of you showing the alpha, changing the alpha from 0 to 1, you can use the hidden property, right? So you can use that one to show the message. But the good thing about this one is it displays instantly, right? As soon as anything changes about the network, it will display the thing. Right? It's not like in your case you need to boot to refresh. After you boot, it trigger the fetch movie, and then it depends on the result of that API code, and it display the network. Right? So reachability is a good thing to use for network handling. Okay. Cache. Then we talk a little bit about cache. If now, I don't know if anyone noticed this one. In that snippet, we have the inside the NS URL request. We had a cache policy. So if you can try to play around with those cache. By default, is what I put there. I don't remember what we put in the snippet. Let me check. Go back to week 1, and then on the pin. Yes. So here we have the cache policy here, right? If you want to play around with this one, so right now we set the cache policy to be reload, ignoring the local cache. So whatever the iOS are doing the cache, so just ignore this one. You only want to get the latest data, so you can use this one. But in some case, you want to optimize your app performance, so you may want to use like use some other option like reload the and this one reload ignoring the local cache data, and return the cache and don't load. I mean, it just whatever in the cache just get the one you cache. So this one is just in case like you get the network error or something, you cannot refresh the thing. That you can try this one. You can go back to your assignment 1 and play around with this one to understand how it perform when you change the cache policy. Okay, so just a brief recap on the network thing. What we want to focus on this week is this one, the authent. How to build okay, how to build the app that can do the authentication. So in most of the app, what you notice is we have one page like the sign up page or the login page, right? And then right now they also interact with a lot of the other social network. Like you see something like this a lot, and it's very convenient, right? Hey, I don't want to create another account. I just have Facebook account. I want to use Facebook account everywhere, and I don't need to remember a bunch of username, bunch of password, right? So you can here say, hey, I just want to sign in with my Facebook. Right? Then today not about Facebook or Google, but Twitter. So we want to sign in with Twitter, and then we use that one to interact with the Twitter server as well. Okay, so for the authentication, we have two kind of OAuth here. So this is OAuth 1.0. So far we have been using Yep, and then today we're talking about Twitter. So this one is use the OAuth 1.0. For OAuth 2, it's about the Facebook, Instagram, or Google. So last time, remember the Instagram when we do the lab one. So that Instagram we didn't do any sign in or any sign up whatever, right? We put to you the API key, and then you just use that one to run. But if you want to do the proper login to Instagram, and then you use your account to post some new picture or to interact with Insta, then you need to go to the authentication. We have here it's called an OAuth Bible, so it's everything about OAuth is there. But you just want to do a quick introduction on OAuth 1.0, which is the one we are going to use today for the Twitter. So again, Twitter we are using an OAuth 1.0. Okay, a lot of things here, but just a few which one. So application. So application is whatever the one you are going to build. So this week we build the Twitter, so it will be your application. To be able to get the access to the app, so to the Twitter server, so you need to do 3 things for the authentication. The first one, you get the request token. So you say, hey, I want to get the request token, and here you send that request to the service. So service is the Twitter server, and then from this one, it will return for you the request token. Right. But of course, here you need to send some of other information as well to let Twitter server know who you are, why do you want to get the request token, right? So you need to you need to send the consumer key and then the signature, whatever you send there, and the API the server will return to you the request token. So it will have the OAuth token and then the token secret. Okay, so it's sent back to you. When it's sent back to you, it will redirect you to another page. So you remember, like if you want to sign using Facebook, right? If you tap on that one, what happened at the background is that it sends the request token, and then Facebook servers get the request, and then it redirect you to the Facebook page. Remember that it will redirect you to the Facebook page, and it asks you to log in to your Facebook account, and then after that, Facebook will ask, hey, do you want to authorize this app to use your account? Right? Remember that. So it will redirect you to the authorized service. So at this step, it will redirect you to that page. You need to log in and then say, hey, I want to, and then at this moment, user say, hey, I want to authorize this app, this one. I want to authorize this application to use my account. Okay, after you, after that step, you are able to, the server will return to you the access token. So the access token is like the key. Now you have the key, and you can use that key to access to that account. So it's authorized for this app to do whatever you can do on your actual account. Right. So now the application has the access token. The access token is just like the key. The application will use the access token, and then it will have all the access to your account. Like later, you can use that one to post a new tweet for you, or to go around and interact with other tweets. Okay. This looks complicated here, but later we go on the live coding and we see how we will implement those 3 steps. Okay, so to be able to work on this assignment, this time I cannot give you my Twitter account, so please, if you haven't got any Twitter account, go ahead and register for that one. What you need is a Twitter account and then a developer account. After you register for a Twitter account, then you go to dev.twitter.com, so it will be dev.twitter. Okay, so the developer page will be something like this one. And then after that, you can create a new app on the Twitter app. So here, this is some of the app I already created. Here you just click on the new app, and then it will show you, it will guide you step by step. Something you need to notice when you create the account. So for the access level here, you want to give the access is read and write. You want to give read and write access. Meaning that if someone use this one to interact with the Twitter server, it has the read and write access. Because I don't want to just read all the one, but I want to send a new post as well. So that's one the write access, right? And then here it will provide for you so the consumer key is, and what else? You go to the here, the key and then the access token. So you will have the consumer key and then the consumer secret. So go back to this one. See here, you need to send the consumer key to. In the first step, you need to send a consumer key to able to get the request token. Later we will demo that one. Okay, so just leave it there now. Let you leave demo now. And now we want to talk about this here. Okay, so this is a summarized 3 steps we need to do. Step number 1. Obtain the request token. So let's create a new project. New project. Okay, we want a single view application. So I say this one my Twitter, and then okay, nothing else, right? Next. save it in script 7, create this one. Okay, let's hide everything. I delete this view controller. It should be a little bit fast now. You already familiar with all the steps, right? So I do it a little bit fast. So we want to use auto layout. Don't want to change anything there. I add a button here, and then the button I say login. A little bit bigger. Let's change the background to another color. Look like I just look like the Twitter one. Right, let's color to be white, and then vertically and center vertically. Okay, the auto layout. So you should be familiar with this one already, right? Okay, so I have the login button, and then I will create a new class here. It's called it will be the subclass of UI. What is it? UI view controller, and then I call this one login view controller. Right, and then I tell the owner for this view controller is the login view controller. Login view controller. Okay. Okay, and then to be able to do this one, we need some bot. Let's go back to this one. 7 cd my Twitter, and then we do bot install. No bot init, right? And then we have the bot file, and I use Sublime to open the bot file. So there are two things we want to use in this one. So AF networking, and then the BDB OAuth 1 manager. So these are the two bots we want to use in this assignment. The basic two bots we want to use. Right. And then you don't want to change the version. So those two versions working well together. If you want to get the latest one, it may not work together. So it has some conflict. So you may not want to change that one. So we just use the version 3 for AF networking and version 2 for BDB OAuth. Okay, so I open this one and paste here. Then I do bot install. So if you notice here, it say BDB OAuth 1, meaning this one only able to use for the OAuth 1. So if you want to use a OAuth 2 for like Facebook or Google, then you need to get a bot for the OAuth 2. Okay, and then now we can close this, right? I will open the ESCO workspace. Okay, cool. So we change this one to iPhone SE. We have the login page here. Okay, now we write the code for the login. So I add the action for login, right? I say on login action, and then this one the button. Connect. Okay, what we want to do is to import the BDB OAuth 1 manager. Is it BDB OAuth 1 manager? Where was it? BDB OAuth 1 man. Is it the name? Yeah, BDB OAuth. Better copy it. And at first it will not recognize this one, so you need to build a project again. Right. So let's open this single file, and we want to do the login here. So what we want to do? Let Twitter. If you notice, if you open the Yep API client, it will have something similar to this one. So for now, we want to get the Twitter client BDB OAuth session manager, and what is required here is require the base URL, the consumer key, and the consumer secret. Okay, so what is the base URL? let me get the which one. Scroll up, scroll up, scroll up, scroll up, scroll up. Okay, let me copy this one. So the page URL is just basically the api.twitter.com, and we'll put it here. Okay, so here the page URL. This is the page for all. Later, if you have any API endpoint, you just block that one in the page URL. So it's the api.twitter.com. Then the consumer key and then the consumer secret, you can get it from here. So you go to your app, there you create your app, and then you go to the key and access token. So it will have the consumer key and consumer secret here. You should copy that one and put into your. Okay, so what we want here, the page URL, and then the consumer key, consumer key, and then secret. Right, and then now we have the we instantiate the Twitter client. And for the first step, what we want to do, go back to the lecture. So first step, we want to fetch the request token. Okay, we have Twitter client and then dot fetch. Okay, because this one is the type of the PDP award manager, so it's only implement the function for you. It had the function for you, it's just use. So the first step, fetch the request token here. Right, see this one. Right, you get this one with BAT. Okay, so what is the BAT for you to get the request token? If you go here on the slide, you go to this page, it will show you how to implement this one step by step, and then here on the step to obtain the request token, so you need to go to this one to see the link to get the request token. So you need to copy this one, award, and then slash request token, and go back to this page. You put the path here. Later it will concatenate this path with the base URL, so you just need to put the path here. That's good enough. This already had the base URL here. And then the method, what is that? You saw the method here, it's post. Later for other API, say get, and you just say get. In this case, post. So just you post there. The callback URL is what that? I don't know. Should put it new again. Whatever, don't know. Should put it new for now. Okay, and then we have two blocks here, the completion block. So in the succeed block, we say response. It will return some response. We do that one later, and then in this case it had a failure, so it will return some error, right? Let's do the error one first. Print error dot description, localized description. Okay, so just print out the error if anything. Okay, in this one, what we want to do, we have in the succeed block. So if so I need to check if the response is new or not. So familiar with this one, the if-let, right? So if-let is a way to check that one is not new, to ensure that one is not new. So whatever inside that block should not be new, right? If-let response equal to response. Nice, it's something quite weird here, right? The if-let stuff, this syntax, but never mind. So we check if the response is, meaning this one, we check the response is not new, and what we want to do inside this one. So what is the next step? Go back to this one. So where was it? So after you obtain the request token, you want to redirect the user, right? So able to get the request token already. So let's try if we really get the request token. Let's print it out. Print and that's response dot token. Yes, we have something token here. Let's print to see if it's actually return something. And I run it now. Okay, now we have the login, and I click on login. See, so it's return something here. Assuming that's one of the request token. Okay, so what we want to do next with that request token, Step number 2, so we need to redirect the user to the login page, right? So here we put the authorization URL. So I put it here. Okay, so this is the URL for the authorization. So it's something Twitter api.twitter.com and OAuth and then authorize. That's one. The link is how do I know that link? If you go there, it will have something like that. Here, see the example. So slash OAuth slash authentication, and then you have the OAuth token here. So put whatever you just get there. Okay, response. Okay, so whatever you get, you put it there, and then you need to run this link. We have something called UI application, and then open. We had the open URL here. Where is it? No, what is the name? Let me check my note. It was open URL, but it changed to something. Okay, got share and then open URL. Okay, share and then open. Oh, this one. Okay, so we have the open URL here. We want to put the authentication URL here. The option, I don't have any option, just leave it blank. The condition block. Okay, so what do we want to with this condition block? No, just do it new. I just want to run to this page. So let's run again to see if it redirect me to that login screen from Twitter. Okay, I log in again. Now I have this is the request token, and it automatically redirect me to this page, right? And then because in this case I already have like I already logged in before, and I say remember my account. That's one. It go directly to this page. Later, if the first time you go to this page, it will have like the place for you to put in your email and then your password. Okay, and then here I say Twitter will ask me, hey, you want to authorize this one, the mytwitter.cf. We see the application I just built here. This is mytwitter.cf, right? Because I use the consumer key here, I use the consumer secret here. That's why the Twitter knows it's actually from this app, right? And you say, hey, do you want to authorize this one to use my account, right? And I say, hey, I authorize. Yes, and then let's go to this page. Okay, why just go to this page? If you go back to your here, the detail of your application you create, and you see it have where was it? Here, the callback URL. So because I say the callback URL is I put this link, so after I authorize, so it jump to this link. Right? But that's not what we want. What we want is to go back to my app, right? After I authorize, I should go back to the Twitter app I just created. So it should not go here. Right? How to override this callback URL. So remember before, there one place we put the callback URL is new, right? Here, say new. Now I don't want it to be new. I want this something else. I say like my 1 2 3 like this. Whatever you want to put it there. So this one is called a URL scheme. Okay, so remember whatever you put it there and try to make it unique for you. Don't copy this one. Don't copy this my Twitter 1 2 3 why. Okay, so I let you know. Now if we run, it will redirect to this page. My Twitter 1 2 3 slash. Of course, this one is invalid URL, right? It will not work. Okay. But how do you want to make it work to go back to your app, right? Okay, you go to the setting of your app. You go to the target. So here it had the project and then the target right? You go to target, you go to info, and you scroll down, you have the URL type here, right? And you add a new one. Okay, you add a new one. So for the identifier, just put the identifier for your app. So what is the identifier? If you go back there at the very beginning when you create your app, it have where was it? Where did I put this one? Oh, here. So it's actually the bundle identifier. So you just get that one and go back to this. Me edit. Okay, so just put the identifier there, and then the URL scheme. So this is where you put that one, whatever the key you want to save. What did I put? My Twitter 123, is it? So you don't need the slash. Okay, so just keep like this. My Twitter. Hey, you need to make sure though this one and that one match together later. If better I copy that one, and then I go back to the target. I edit this one. Okay, I should put there my Twitter 123. Okay, that's good. So what does it mean? So at this step, it means that if iOS C, you try to open some URL style with this keyword, it will open your app. Meaning, you register your app to the iOS. Hey, I can handle this URL. So if you see anything like this one, just call me. I will open that one. Right? Okay, let's try to run to see if it really. Is it? We have one error here. Why is it? Convert URL. Why that cannot convert this one to the Thai URL? Okay, so we just put here the URL stuff and string. Okay. Again, later you go back, and when you do your assignment, try to make that one unique. Whatever, like don't try my Twitter 123 as well. The reason why, when I create your assignment, if 10 of the app say, hey, I can handle this link, then iOS will not know which one they should open, right? Sometimes I'm grading for this student, but then it's open another student assignment, then I don't know which one. Okay, log in again, and then I have what is this? The request token, right? After this step, I get the request token, and I say I authorize, and now see, it try to open this URL. It try to open the my Twitter 123 URL, and then right now iOS know that, hey, there is some app here can handle this link. Let's open this one, and then it asks you, hey, you want to open this one in the my Twitter app, right? Then say open, and it will redirect you back to the app. Get it? You get the idea? Okay, so that's one is we finished step 2. Right, just one more step and we done the authorization step. Alright, let's get it one. So what is the step number 3? Step number 3, you need to convert the request token to the access token. So now you have the request token, you get the authorization, then you need to convert that one to the access token. Really the very last step. Then how do you know is when it go back? Then when you go back from it redirect from the authorization page. How do you know is where to do that? Right, so you go to the application, to the app delegate. So it we have some function called open. Okay, open URL. So the very first one, you just type open is the very first one. So this is another delegate for your application. So when your app is called from someone else, so it will jump to this function. So in this case, like the Safari, just say, hey, who can handle this one, and then your app say, hey, I can handle that. Then it redirect you to your app, and it will go here. Right. Okay, so let's try to print here the URL to see if actually run to here or not, right? And then it's hard to return some boolean here, so I just return. Okay. Let's see it actually will go back to here and print something out. Right. Okay, log in again. I get the request token. It redirects me to the authorization page. I say authorize, and then it asks me to want to open this one. I say yes, I want to open, and then see it printed here. So the URL is actually like, see, my Twitter 123, and then it put a bunch of other things here as well. So why did it have the award token? So if you notice, this one is exactly the same with this one, with the request token before, right? And then what we want is to get this request token, we convert this request token into the asset token. Okay, so how can we do that one? If you see the note here, we also have something called fetch asset token. Okay, go back to call the fetch asset token. So you need like something like before Twitter client and dot something, but in this file you don't have access to the Twitter client, right? Do the early way first. Just copy this one and do it again. Later I show you how to make that one. So you just need to create the Twitter client only once, and you can use it everywhere. So similar to the Yep client, the file, the Yep client, right? You remember we have the Yep client and then dot shot something. You just can use it everywhere. Not every time you do that. You do the this step again. Okay. Or it doesn't know what is it. So we need to import, right? Okay, and then it's now it know this one. What we want to do here? Fetch what? Another error. We got two error. PDB or what? No, PDB or manager. Happy? Yes. Okay, so here we have what do we want to fetch now? The asset token, right? So this is the very last step. Fetch the asset token again with path. So we need to go back to this page and looking for the path. So if you see here, we go to step number 3, scroll down to step number 3. So you see the path is award/asset token, right? And the method also post. Okay. If I go to pick one and I just copy the award asset token. Right, step number 3, good there. So most of the API they have a very well documentation, and you just read there and you know which one you want to use to be able to log in. Okay, the method post again request token. So why the request token? You remember here? You see here? The request token we get in the first step, it go around together with the URL. It go to the redirect page and go back to your app again. It go together with this URL, right? So now we need to get that token. So how to get that one? Let's request token. Token go to a URL dot what that? We have the URL, so I don't know how to. We get the URL. Okay, don't worry. Where is it? Okay. Let me copy this stuff. No, cannot. Oh. Yeah. Okay. I have the request token here. Okay, so it's actually the PDB or credential. It go together with the URL inside this query. So you see whatever after the question mark is the query for that URL, right? And in this case, we want to get the it will have the together with this. So this one it had the query here. So it will have like both the award token and also the award verify OAuth verifier, but we just need the OAuth token, so just put here the request token, and then in the specific block, similar to before, we have response, and whatever you want to do it there, error. Nope. Okay, so print error here. Whatever the error, I don't care. Later you fit that one, but here now say that here you have the access token, and try to print that one. If let similar to before, response, go to response, and then you can print out the access token. What you want, response dot token. Okay, so now we have the access token. So after this moment, you have full access to the Twitter account. Okay, let's run again. I say login. Go to this one. I authorize. I'm open. Okay. See here, it has the access token. So I already had the access token, meaning starting from this moment, I can do everything with that account. I can use this app to do everything with my account. Right? Okay, let's try to see if we can do anything. But before we go to that one, just want to recap. So how many steps we need to do? 3 steps, right? The first one is to request the token. So we had the Twitter client dot request token, dot fetch request token, and then after that one we had the URL. We need to redirect the user to that URL. So this is actually the URL to the authorization page. You concatenate that one with the request token you just get from the step number 1, right? And then on this page you log in and you say authorize. It will give the callback URL where you want to go after you click authorize. Right, so at that moment you said, hey, I want to go to this this URL, and then you set the URL scheme. Just want to tell the iOS, hey, this is the app can handle this URL. So again, try to make that one unique. It's whatever like personal you want to make it unique. Just you have that URL, right? And then for the very last step, when you go back, it will jump into the open URL in the app delegate, right? Remember, if you go back, it will jump into this app delegate. Okay, and you need to do this one again. Later I show you how to remove the redundant step. So we don't want to use that one everywhere, right? Later you have another screen, and you also want to use the Twitter client again. Of course, you don't want to every time you copy and paste this code, right? So here you have the request token, and then you convert that request token. You put the request token there, and then you convert that one into the access token. Right. So at this moment, you have the full access to the account. Okay. Let me prove this one. Okay. So we close this one. We don't need to use anymore, right? Okay. Here the list of the Twitter API. What do we want to do? So what is it? Okay. Here we have the get OAuth authentication. Get OAuth authentication. Why is it? If you scroll down here, so we have a few things here. Get OAuth authentication. So what does it return? This will return the whatever the information of that account. So like it will return your username, your Twitter handler. For example, this is my Twitter account. So later if you return my username here, this is the handler and the profile picture as well, right? So let me try to get that one. So here we have, now we know that we need something this one, right? And the method will be get, right? So go back here to Twitter client again, and then now we just get, we don't fetch anything else, right? We don't fetch request token. It's only had two things: fetch request token or fetch the accept token. Now we want to do something else. Say get. Okay, so you have the get here and URL string here, parameter progress, blah, 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 so something. So the URL string, you just copy that one, right? Because this one already say get, so you don't need to declare the method again. Okay. Parameter. So in case in some endpoint, some API endpoint, it will require the parameter. But in this case, it's just optional. I don't need to put in any parameters, right? So I say new progress. So what is this progress? If some endpoint run in very long to return something, so you want to put the progress there, right? So for example, if you say, hey, I only download like 10%, 20%, 50% or something, right? So in this case, I know it will be very fast to return my information, so I don't want to use the progress. Okay, success, we had a success here. We have something task here, the URL session data task, and then it will return the response here, the type any, and then you want to do something with it. And on failure, same thing, the task on failure, and then the error. Okay, again here you want to print out the error. You better print the error dot description, then it tell you what is that, but it says something else. Actually this one it returns something, but we don't want to use it, so just set up to silent that one. The underscore is to assign to something later you don't want to use. You don't want to touch that one. It's just one time deal, then you use the underscore. So what does it say here? I print the error is okay. We don't care about the error block, but later in your app you should care about that one. You should trace it just if it have any error on your app. In this case, I know that's and I hope that it not have any errors. So what do we want to do here? We had the response now, right? And what actually the response? Let's try to print the response and see what that. Print response. Wherever I try to bring it out, see what inside. Okay, you see this step again. Every time you run, you need to do this step again. So that's also one of the requirements for your assignment. If I already log in, don't ask me to log in again, right? You don't want to repeat this step like many times. As soon as you open the app, you need to log in again. That's also all the app you see. Is it require you to log in again to Facebook every time you open the Facebook? No, right? It know that hey, you already log in, then you just skip the login page, go directly to the home page, right? Later you need to do that one on your assignment. That's one the requirement. Okay. Oh, it's actually too bad it print the error here. I was too lazy to error dot I want to see what is the error, right? Anything wrong with this one? Oh no, just try to print the error to see. While waiting, let me check if we missed any step. Okay, here the step to get the user account. It's to account and verify credential. What did I get? Oh no, it's not this one. Sorry, I used the wrong endpoint. Sorry. Where is that endpoint? It should not in the account. Authentication. Where did I get that endpoint? This one is authentication, wrong one, sorry. This one is the one we just used before. We don't want to use that. The endpoint we want to use is Okay, go to this link. Oh, the REST API, and then what we want. How did I find that endpoint before? The REST API limit working collection media. API started. I don't remember how did I. In here? No. No. It's somewhere on this one. Post access token. This is just about the authentication. See our API overview, trace user. Let me get the user. Now it's in REST API, and then it's just API. Reference document. Okay, here. Okay, so it's under REST API and then reference documentation. What do I want? So account and then verify credential, is it? The account and verify credential. Okay. So this is the one. Request for a user email address. So it will. Also here you see all the parameter is optional, so I don't need to get anything. But here you see the return. What is it return? This is a sample of the return of the API. What do we have here? User ID string, the location. Okay, we want the name. We have some profile image URL here. So this is the URL of that profile image. Right. It has a bunch of other information as well. So a lot. Let's try to run it where we actually have as well. So I get the account. Sorry, I copied the wrong one. Okay, let's log in. Go here, authorize. Authorize. Now open. Request failed, not found. We got some 404. Is it right? Yes, I did something wrong. Why we get 404?
I see the access token have option.
The access token. No, is this one we just print out the access token. At this moment we don't use that token anymore. Meaning we only have the access there. And we just want to run this one. It should print out some one, but in this case it didn't run to this, but it go to the error block. So we get the account verified credential, parameter new account. Is it the correct one? Oh, we're missing the 1.1. Oh, here. Okay. So before for the okay, so everyone noticed about this one is we need the 1.1 here as well. But this is the version 1.1 of the API. For all the let me see this one. Like for this one, I assemble this one, this request token. So it should directly right after the page URL, right? But in this case, if we see here with 1.1 and then this, so we need to have the 1.1 as well, right? So that's why when we don't have this one, it say 404. It doesn't understand that. Okay, let me quickly fit this one. So just remove this one. Okay, so we get so this is the string of that API 1.1 account verify credential. it will return something. It will return the response here, and here we check if that response is new or not. And we know that if we look at this, we know that this one actually it return a dictionary, right? So we want to cast that one into the dictionary, and we should care about the name, the screen name, and then the profile image URL. So we have should be something here. We have name here, we have the profile image URL here, and the screen name here. So the screen name is this one. Alright, so let me run again. Right, so it's able to print out my account here. Right, my name here, my screen name, and the URL, the image URL. Right, let's try one more thing. Whatever we want to get, go back to the list of the API here. See if I'm able to get the twist on my timeline. It should be home timeline or something. Let me check for that one. Okay, so it had the status is the home timeline. See if the one. So return a collection of the most recent tweet and retweet voted by this user. Right. So if you look here, this is my home timeline right now. So it should be able to display the thing. Right, so Taylor Swift, only Taylor Swift. Some dog and then some dummy thing I just post there. Let's see if we're able to get the thing. What that started home timeline, right? So again 1.1 started home timeline. Let's copy the code. We want to use this again. And 1.1 started home timeline. So put it there. And have the new response again. And then we have here the startup. We should call that one the tweet. The response at dictionary. Try to print that twist. No, let's say for in twist we print what is it return? Now it look like, so it will return something like this, right? So this is the example of the response. You see it will return an array of dictionary, right? So we're not going to cache this one to the dictionary, but we need to cache this one to array of dictionary, right? So we know that it will return an array of dictionary. Okay. Then what do we want? The test. So this is actually the tweet, the content of that tweet, right? Try to open that to print that tweet, and then no tweet, test, right? Okay, something is like it requires add this one to screen. Any Okay, login, authorize, open. Okay, see, let me open this one. See, oh, after I get my account, and then this is the list of tweets on my home timeline, right? We have I didn't put the owner of those thing here, but see, so the thing, so a lot of things. So I'm able to get the list of my my tweet. Right. Okay, take a look at of this endpoint. So by default, so it will return to you the latest 20 tweets. So it will return to you 20, and then if you want to increase or decrease the number, you can do that. But if you don't want, just leave there, so it will return 20. But then here is some of the parameter that you want to notice if you want to implement the infinite scroll, right? So for example, at first it will return to you 20, and it have the ID here. Where the ID? Okay, it had the ID here, so a very long number here, so it had the ID, and then you get the ID of the very last one, the smaller ID, and then you say, hey, I want to get another 20 street, but the ID should be less than this number, meaning you get the next 20, right? It's similar to the what the movie database or the Yep API. How do you want to get the net 20s, for example? In the Yep API, we have something called offset, and then you say, hey, I want to get the result from 20 to something, then you set the offset. Right? In this case, we can use the max ID to some tip for you later. You don't have fun to spend a lot of time understand the API. Okay, so I just do the demonstration on how to get the my account, the information about my account and my home timeline, right? So later, what in the let's take a quick look on the requirement. No, not this one. With 3, we have the assignment there. A list of requirements, very long one. Okay, so you need to log in. Should be good now, right? You can view 20 streets, right? Now you're able to get the 20 street. What you need to do next is to display that one on the table view. It's not print in the debugger, you know, right? One more thing, after you log in, you need to perform the segue to move you to the home view controller. Right now, you still stay at the login view controller, right? And then, okay, this one. The current sign-in user should be persisted across the restart. This is what I told you before. You don't want every time the user open the app, they need to log in again, right? So it should remember who is logged in, who is currently logged in, to remember that one, and next time they open the app again, they go there. Okay, and then we have the home timeline. You should be able to display the user profile picture, username, the text, and then the timestamp. You can boot to refresh. You can compose a new tweet. Okay, it have you need to go back and look at the API here. For example, to post a new tweet, then you need to look at the post area here. It have it is the status object or something. Yes. Okay, post here, post status update. We update the authentication user current status, as also known as tweeting. You need to use this one to post a new tweet, right? And then remember that Twitter only allow maximum 140 digits. 140 character. So you also need to count if the user enter more than 140 character, then you should not allow to tweet. Or you tweet and then Twitter server will decline that one, and it will return some error. Right. It's not allow you to do more than 140. Something you need to take note. Compose a new one, and then you can retweet. You can do the favorite, and you can reply. Right. So that's it for the requirement. Easy. Actually, that's a lot. Then after you finish one, then this is some optional feature for the advanced feature you can complete. Let me show you one of is it this one? Yes, try this one. One of the example. Okay, similar process, right? You also see, right? So right after you go back from that one, you should go on the perform segue, and then you go to the home view controller, right? And here you display a list of a twist, and then if I keep scrolling, it will see infinite scrolling, right? And then I go on top. For example, I can favorite this one. It count, it increase this number, and I can unfavorite this one. Go back, right? For example, this one. Look at this one. So 42244. I favorite it 42245. So at that moment, maybe someone else also favorite that one. So it increase 3, not 1. But then, like what is like unfavorite it, go back, right? You should count that number correctly as well. If you look at the API, the result is returned, it will have the number of count, the count of favorite, count of retweet there. So you should be able to get the number and display correctly. What else you can do with this one? So you can boast a new one, boast a new trick, right? Hello from Swift, and then here it count the number here, you see, right? And try to bold this one. If I tweet this one, so I go up, I have here. Okay. And to prove that one, it's actually I can post to Twitter. It's not I just show the meeting on my table view. I go back to my account and then refresh my account. See, 19 seconds ago, I post something here, right? So it's actually doing some interaction with the API, the Twitter server, right? It's not just you just show the meeting on this table view, right? And then of course you can log out, right? Okay, let's go back to our one. I show you one more thing. Earlier I said we don't want to do this one, right? We don't want to do this step every time we need to use the Twitter client, right? So now similar to the Yep client, we will create a new one. So this one will be the subclass of the BDB OAuth credential. BDB OAuth one session manager. Okay, is it the session manager? Am I so? Okay, I create a new class called Twitter client, and this is the subclass of this one, of this class. So I create. Okay, so now it will create for me this one. It is a class of the BDB OAuth session manager. It doesn't know what it does, so I need to import. What do we need to import? Don't remember. Go back and copy that. Twitter client. Okay, and then we need to declare that Twitter client there. So I say let Twitter client. No, say share instant. Why is called share instant? Because we just declare one and you can share everywhere. Everywhere can access to this one. So I say share instant, and then we want to do the same thing. So share instant Twitter client, and then we have here, right? Page URL and whatever similar. So I just go here, I remove this whole block, cut this one and just throw it down. So I need the page URL here. So why this one I say BDB or Session Manager, but here I say Twitter client, because I already have this class Twitter client is the subclass of this one. Okay, so I don't use this work anymore. So just remove this one. Okay. But for now, you're not able to access from other files, so you need to declare this one as the static. Let's say this one is variable. So I declare static variable. Static cannot go with let, so static go with var. So I declare static variable, and then when I go to this one, I can look at it. I can say Twitter client dot share instance. Right. Now I had a share instance, and I can say fetch. See, so doing that way, I can replace the thin Twitter client here with this one. Right. So I don't need to write that one anytime, anywhere. Go to the app delegate as well. So we don't need this. Just delete this one, and just say Twitter client share instance. And similar here we have Twitter client share instance, and one more. See, that's how you move the thing into one file, and we can use that one from other files. So we don't need to repeat the code everywhere every time. So now I say login, I get this one, I move to here, and I authorize and open. See, right, and now it's print out my account. What the next step? I didn't print. Yes. Okay, it's already print out here. So my tweet here. Okay. So further step here, what you want to do is that, for example, you don't want to every time you need to remember this, because on one page you need to get your information. Then you go to another page, you also need to have your information, like this. Let's go back to this app. Like here on the home timeline, you need to get your information, right? And then if you had a tweet, you also need to get your information. You need to get your information again, right? Because somehow you need to get this URL, right? Or when you reply to something, again you need to get your information. So it may be like multiple field controller. You want to get your information. So again, that's why you may want to move the thing inside that class as well, that Twitter class as well, right? So for example, I move the thing there. I say this one is function. What was the name? I don't know. What did I copy? So this is the user, right? So for example, I say function. I get user info, right? I just put it there, same thing. It just do everything here. We don't call this one again, so we just in here, because this one is a class of the PDB OAuth manager, so we don't need to call it again. Just like that, so directly call get. Okay, and in this app delegate, so we just say, hey, Twitter client dot share instance dot get user info. Right. So now everywhere you want to get the user info, you just do that. Similar to this one, you want to throw this block into that Twitter client as well, right? You don't want to put your code everywhere. You cannot reuse that one. And if you want everything about the API, you just go there, go here, and then fix all the thing. You don't want to spread your code about API to all the files. It's very hard for you to debug later. Okay, so that's it about this week. Later for the assignment, we have some other video here which will help you to implement those feature. So take a look on the video as well. So far I already cover like video 1, video 2 on the basic setup on this one. Later you want to create a model, you want to create a user model, you want to create the twist model. Why we need to use model is easier for us to manage the code. We don't want to, like, for example here we had to say, hey, I want to print the user, and then each dictionary I get the name field of that dictionary. But if you put that one into the model and say you want to print user dot name or user dot profile URL, similar to assignment 1 when we want to create the movie model, similar to that, right? Just some tip or some hint for you to continue to work on the project. And then this video number 4 is actually how to combine the code into the Twitter client file, similar to what I just did. And then the video number 5, how you can save the current user, right? So just watch the video as well, 3, 4, 5, and then you're able to implement it, like more than half of the assignment. Okay, easy? Not easy. So again, this assignment, if you can see, is a lot more than assignment 2. So assignment 2, you just code the API, it return you something. Even we had a search page, you just go there and change some parameter in the search in the filter. And again, it's just code the API, return you something. Now it's not just code the API. You need to really interact with the server, the API server. Not just code and give me something, I show that one. Now you, hey, update this one to me, for example, like I want to reply this one, I want to post new twist, I want to change this one to favorite and increase the number to 1, right? So it could be much more harder than that one. So go ahead and do the assignment as soon as possible. Later I will post this one, the one I already complete, like this way, just not even halfway, but you have some idea, you can continue to start from here. Actually, just for now, it just have only one view controller, the ugly one. Okay.